Well, good morning. Tuesday, the 11th of December. Well, I can tell by the views that people are apparently more interested in hearing me talk than listen to my music. However, I will say to you folks who like to hear me speak for whatever reason, you're missing out, okay? My music is as good as any music in this world, and I just have to be okay with saying that because it's true, and thankfully, I'm receiving the feedback from you all as well. I mean, I knew, and I'm getting better all the time, but I knew my music was good. You know, my sensibility is good. So take a minute and listen to what you're missing. Listen to it. You folks that were bothering me about, oh, you should have Queen in your collection. No, Queen should have me in their collection. Well, I like what I do better than Queen. That's not a put down. That's just the truth. Okay. Someone had asked if I would be willing to share some of my favorite records, and I'll try. A lot of times when people ask for these lists and will you do this and this collection, that collection, I have to admit to you that I'm at a point in my life at my age where a big part of what was real clear in my mind is mush now. When people say, what are your top 10 albums? My mind goes blank. Best records of the year? Same thing. I mean, I have to kind of work at it to figure it out. So, whereas those sort of things were real important to me to remember, it's just part of the, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I pulled a few to show you because hopefully they will trigger more thoughts. I'm also going to explain more about my perception of myself and my life as I talk about these records, because it's important to understand each person's orientation to their life is theirs, not other people's, okay? We are social and we interact with others, but I do not allow others to define me like people try to. They try to tell you who you are. No, you're not doing that to me. No. I know who I am better than you do. Okay? So, when I'm asked the question, what are some of your favorite records? You may be surprised, but this album comes to mind immediately. Bo Hansen's Lord of the Rings. This is like a comfort food. It's like eating oatmeal on a cold winter morning as a child, which I love. There's something very wistful and far away and dreamlike about this album that captivates me. I love listening to it on a rainy day or a gray day. This is one of my favorite pieces of music, Bo Hansen's Lord of the Rings. I have to also add that, as well as that, the follow-up album, Magician's Hat, is just as magical and as important to me. Both of these albums are definitely at the top of the heap for me. Whatever else I show you, whatever else you ask about, this music is very important to me. Magical. Real important to me. Yeah, this music is more important to me than probably what... I don't know. I just want to just let you know that this music is more important than a lot of the music that people think is important in this world. I think this is it's way better to me. In music, I tend to focus on the total picture, which is the words and the music trumping the words for the most part. Selling England by the Pound by Genesis is a good example of that. Peter Gabriel's words are very imaginative, but it's the music on here. This is one of my favorites. This album, there's been times where it just will just catch me. The cinema show in particular used to just catch me, that music, and it'd be tears, a plethora of feelings, joy, sadness, awakening. There's been times when just listening to this music causes me to have thoughts where I'm learning things and I'm not even in school. This is one of my all-time favorite albums. Herbie Hancock's Mwandishi. I can still, in my mind now, remember the first time I heard this when my brother had left our house. I think it was 17, and things had gotten so bad he couldn't live at home. And he and a couple friends found a garage, and they turned it into their place. And I remember going down there, hanging out with James, and they were listening to this, and I kept, what is this? What is this? What is this? This really opened up Ostinato to start with, and then the song after, You'll Know When You Get There. You'll Know When You Get There is in the same wheelhouse as these records, that song. It's mystical, it's quiet, it's wonderful. It has a feeling that, oh, when I'm done with this video, I'm putting this on. You'll know when you get there. I'd play it for you if I could. Just incredible. Another one, Herbie Hancock's Crossings. Again, my favorites are my favorites. And so please don't, I won't say that, but if you are inclined to say, well, what about, that's not a valid question. You asked me what are my favorites. I'm telling you what my favorites are, okay? This album, again, as you can see, this is my original copy from when I bought it in 1972. I've played it to death. I've played it for everyone. I've taken it to many, many, many parties. This is not a party album, but this would be my contribution. Everybody shut up and listen, sit down and listen to this record and find out something. And that's who I've always been. You want to know about music? Let's talk about some good music, okay? You know, I like the regular stuff. I've actually even gone and seen Ted Nugent in concert 3 times when I was a kid, because as a kid his guitar playing blew me away. But I did also have the unfortunate experience of getting up close to the stage and having Ted Nugent stare me down and give me the meanest look he could muster because I'm a black kid at his show. These are some of my favorites that I can tell you right away. It's like, I'll just see what I can just grab right quick, okay? More obvious ones of my all-time favorites are King Crimson. These first 2 in particular are my favorites. The first 2, yes, Wake of Poseidon. I rate that. Most people don't, okay? Most people don't. Over here, 2 more absolute top favorite albums in my collection. Kraftwerk 2, Kling Klang, Hypnotic. Open my head. Kraftwerk, Ralph and Florian. I've taken a riff from this and written a song called Cluster. It's on one of my records. It's on one of my albums on Bandcamp. Love this. See, I show you them. I've already shown you my favorites. Okay. You know what my favorites are if you've been watching me. Faust Tapes is one of my all-time top albums. Faust 4 is in the tops, okay? These are some of my all-time favorites. I could go on for hours and days, okay? But if you look at my videos and you listen to how I talk about stuff, you can gather that I'm telling you about my favorite music all the time, okay? Canterbury, what they call the Canterbury style of progressive rock is like one of my foundation places to be in music. Not doom rock or stoner rock or hip hop or funk. Excuse me, or soul music. Canterbury is my ground zero, okay? This is sitting out so I can show this. Another sound that is real important to me and I love is the Boards of Canada. These guys that make that gauzy kind of woozy, I like that music that just takes you to another world. As you've noticed with the music that I've been uploading, and again, If you like what you're hearing now, go to my Bandcamp page. I've been making music like this for years. I love beautiful melody and atmosphere. I also like power and 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 funk and stuff, but atmosphere is probably the most important thing to me. Melody and atmosphere. Another real important record that's sitting out, and another person who's real important to me is Frank Zappa. So Frank Zappa's music is very important to me. Freak Out, this is one of my favorite albums. Who Are the Brain Police? That is a brilliant song. That one song alone, to me, was like, holy shit, who is this man? Who Are the Brain Police? I never got to meet Frank Zappa, but I've met many of the original Mothers of Invention. Jimmy Carl Black. This guy right here. Yeah, I've hung out with these guys. And I could just go on and on. This is sitting out. This is one of my favorites. The Teardrop Explodes. There's a song on here called Ouch Monkeys. It's like those other songs. It's special. It's the only song like that by Julian Cope that sounds like it. It's brilliant. It was a gift to him. These are some of my absolute favorites, okay? I can just hear some people watching me thinking, well, he's not showing. And I probably won't, because they're not in my favorites. They're not. Stuff like Van Halen and Metallica and stuff like that, those aren't in my favorites, not at all. And one of my favorite punk records is by the band Capital Punishment. It's up here. I'm not going to go grab it. I'll show some more eventually. That's it for now. I'm going to keep it short because even though I have a new modem, these videos are still taking a long time to upload. And I now only have one computer. I used to have a laptop, but it fell apart at my last video, literally. At my last show. Couldn't even do the show. So this is the only computer I have, and I do a lot of stuff on the computer. I work on music almost daily. So I'm uploading it. I'm keeping it short so it'll upload, and then I can get back to work.